Welcome back to another video. It's Easter weekend here on the Smallholding, so we've got a few jobs picked out that we want to get completed for the weekend. So I've given myself 3 days to do a couple of jobs, one of which is to clear out all this area here where the ducks were. They've been off there now for about 3 weeks, and I don't know if you can see it on camera. Tracy will get some overlaid footage of the grass is starting to fight its way through, even though the ducks have only been off for 3 weeks. So if we can get all this cleared out, get all this big pile of muck shifted, and get all that burnt, it's a lovely calm day. I'm going to get the fire going, keep getting all that on there, clear all out the dead wood. I've got a couple of trees that need taken down because they're just rotten and falling down, so a bit dangerous, so I'm going to take them down. So I've got that job to do, to get all that cleared out. Then second part of the job, I need to mesh. I've got some mesh there. I'm going to mesh all this fence across here and the one behind me around the veg plot. I'm going to mesh all that, and then on Tuesday when the wood yard opens back up, I'm going to nip down, get a load of fence boards and re-fence all these in fence boards and make them like semicircle, like prettified up with a picket fence going around both fences. So that's, give myself 3 days to get it done. Let's hope it's a before and after video. So while I get on with that, Tracy's going to tell you what she's going to get onto in the veg plot.
Now, while Stephen's doing that, I'm going to get on with some gardening. I've got those leeks to harvest that I mentioned in a previous video. We're going to completely clear that bed, use some of them in some recipes, and I'll get some put in the freezer or something like that. Excuse the lamb residue. Feeding the lambs is always fun. It's actually warmed up quite a bit. It wasn't as warm earlier. It's quite chilly the first thing this morning. So I'm going to get my hair tied back and get on, have mean business today. I've got the, as well as the leeks, the other thing that I'm going to do is get the Wendy house, which is over here. Stephen gave that a bit of an organise yesterday because I was convinced that there was a wasp's nest in it. Anyway, it turns out there isn't. And then I've got all this mess behind me alongside the polytunnel, which is not mess as in rubbish, it's mess that just needs organising and sorting. But the best place for that is probably going to be the Wendy house as well. So 2 jobs for me to get on with. I must get started or else I'll never get finished on me. Well, this is what it's looking like at the minute, so you can see where we've been harvesting and having the leeks from. I've been kind of cherry picking the best ones, but literally now every one of these is going to come out. I'll get the weeds taken out and composted. None of these can't be composted. And then I'm also going to start filling up these other beds with some bags of compost from the shop, which I don't actually have. And being Easter Sunday today, it's all closed, but that's fine. We've got all week. Stephen and I are on holiday, off the paid job all week, so we can just work here instead. Can you see and hear the cows? Goodness me, they are so blooming noisy, especially when they're trying to get out of this, what's on the other side of this fence. How they don't injure themselves, I've got no idea, because they're just so thunderous. They're having a time of life, living the absolute best lives out on that pasture. I'm busy shouting to our Dexter as well, making him want to go in their field, but the grass isn't always greener, is it? So this is what I've got. Let's go this way around. I feel like I'm upside down. All of these leeks are varying sizes. Some of them are really like pencil thin, and then there's another couple that are quite decent size. Given that I thought I had none of a decent size, I'm really pleased with them. But look at the state of this bed. I've been trying to shake the roots off. It literally was coming out in huge clumps, and tried to keep the pathway clear. Well, I've completely failed at that, so I'm going to get the brush, get it all swept. Any big bits like these that have obviously left in, well, that's an actual leek, you see, bringing some big clumps with it. I'll try and take all of those bits out and give it a bit of a rake over. And then this bed needs a couple of bags of compost. As I say, I haven't got that at the moment. And then this will be ready for planting when I've got it all tidied up. A few weeds I'm going to grab out of this bed as well. It'll take me a couple of minutes. And then I think that's all of them. This one behind me that had the sweet corn in is done. And then that's all of these in this little spot here that are ready to receive whatever's going in them this year. So that's a good job done. And I can crack on with the Wendy house that I'm doing. Right, that's now done and swept either side. Haven't raked it over yet because Stephen's using the rake for the job that he's doing, but we'll get to that. There's no major rush because I haven't got the compost at the moment, as I say. So I'm going to move on to the next job, which is basically putting some stuff into this Wendy house that, as I say, Stephen has tidied out recently, but there's a load of stuff in the shed and down the side of the shed that looks really unsightly. And now that we've taken the hedge down, it's all that you see when you're kind of walking around, or at least it's all that we see. So I want to get that nice and tidied away. Always nicer to work in a tidy plot, isn't it? I feel like we need to walk around with our eyes closed a little bit, because everywhere you walk you see like 10 more jobs. As you scratch one off the list, another 10 join it. So this is it basically. So these terracotta pots had different herbs in last year. Some of them are coming back through, some of them won't, because they weren't perennials or sort of frost hardy. So we're going to get a shot of those, get all of the get a shot of the contents of those ready to replant this year, and then everything else that's kind of along here. It's a bit of a TARDIS that goes all the way through to the back. Just going to try and get organised and see if we can see the wood for the trees. I'm at that stage where I wish I hadn't started, but progress is being made. I'm leaving Stephen and Jack alone just to get on with what they're doing over there, because I can sense it's work that they don't want to do, and I don't think they want to be filmed when they're doing it. Anyway, so what I've done, I've pulled everything out. I've got rid of some stuff that the bloody mice had been in, fleeces and things for the beds, which is really annoying. Thankfully it was some of the older ones. Rodney's been in and checked for me, make sure there's nothing else in there. Is it safe, Rodney? So what I'm doing, I've got the kind of some vegetable washing things, bread baskets. There's a load of pots here. I've been getting rid of these pots because, as you guys know, I moved on to the other ones from Container Wise, the kind of the different smaller, what they're called, the ones that you see all the time anyway. They're much easier to stack and to take care of, so I prefer those. But some of these are really useful still for certain things. Didn't realise that there was behind there, there's some decent sizes. So I'm going to go through there, keep some, and put them in that box over there, and then keep them in the Wendy house. All of these buckets here I've been just hanging on to because I don't like wasting, and I didn't want to have to get rid of them. They are handleless, which is why they're no longer any good for the... Oh, Rodney, that's dirty. I've just literally changed that and then dropped a load of the muck in it out of these buckets. Anyway, they are handleless, which is why they're no good for the horses or sort of the animals' waters, because you can't drag them around. So then I use them for potatoes and growing in, which is why they've got the holes in. And then obviously we've extended everything now, so I'm less reliant on the containers. And obviously they take a lot more water in. So every one of these, either a handle's broken or it's completely split, and I do need to part with them, which is a shame. But I've kept, there's 3 in the shed. I mean, this is literally 10 years worth of livestock buckets here. So there's also a bag there that the table came in, which the mice have had, so that needs to go as well. But that's about the only rubbish in terms of that's going to need recycling that I'm looking at now. Everything else is staying. It just needs either emptying into compost. This was a strawberry, and there's nothing left of it in there. Obviously that got forgotten about and somehow put behind there. The horseradish was in there, I'm pretty sure, because I did have 2 of those and I seem to have misplaced one, however you can do that. Anyway, so this is what it's looking like now. Stop talking and get on with it, Tracy. Well, that's looking a lot better, isn't it? This was very much on the jobs I don't want to do list. There is still a tub along the back here, so I'll need to see Stephen on how to either take that to the tip, or if we want to use it for something, because I don't think we can use it for an animal trough with the hole that it's got in. Anyway, he'll give us a hand with that, but that's much better and looking much more inviting. Now the shed is reasonably organised as well, because I did that yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. So now we can actually get on with some of the exciting jobs. Well, this is an interesting turn up for the books. Mama hen is making a bid for it whilst I'm feeding the pony, but she's leaving the chicks inside. What are you doing? Are you still getting annoyed with me? Oh, okay, they're following. Keep an eye on that.
Well, what a difference a couple of hours of graft makes. I don't know if it shows on camera, but we've got it all cleared out, all this muck shifted, all the pallets burnt. So it's just ready for when the temperature's on a night above 6 regularly. We'll get some grass seed and some wildflowers, and we'll come in, I'll just rake it all over roughly. We'll scatter a load of seed down and we'll see how she grows. But that's it for this area today. Just get on with the meshing the fences next. Right, we were cracking on this morning, been to the wood yard early on, and then spent the next hour deciding how big a gap to put in, how to do it, because we are going to curve the tops. But that end there fits, and it's a nice just straight edge. This end I had to put the posts in to match the curbstone, so each post slightly further apart or closer together than the other one. So I'm not going to get the exact measurements to make a arch post to post. So I've measured it out. Each six planks is going to be an arch, but sometimes the arch goes around the corner of the post, so I don't know what that's going to look like. Tracy said just get on with it and do it, and we'll see what it looks like when it's finished. But that's not how I work really, but I have no other choice than to do it like that. So we'll see what it looks like. If it looks crap, we'll tear it all down and we'll start again.
It'll look fine, like absolutely fine.
Right, we're nearly there. I'm on the final part of putting this first fence up. So I'll just give you a quick recap of what we're doing and why. At first we just had it as a post and rail fence, but that's not going to help with keeping the chickens and other critters out. So we meshed it yesterday in this green mesh, but it just looked unsightly. So I thought, right, we'll put some pickets on, and well, originally we were going to just cap the tops, but I didn't really like it square, so I thought I'll arch it, because we've had arched fences up before, years ago, before we took this fence down. That was arched and it looked really nice, so I thought we'll try and arch it on this one. So what I've done, I've just put the fence boards on. I've just made a template there, 50mm template, so that just put them in between, shot all the fence boards on. That was the easy part. So on this fence here, this side, it's nice and straight, so I wasn't really too worried about that side. But this side with the curved stones curved round, so in order to put a curve in, I made this template which is 6 boards apart. The only problem is when it gets to the curve, this is like a 6th board, so it hangs over like that. So I don't know what it's going to be like curved round. And further round here, the worst part is this one here, where this board was sticking right out. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but I've just cut it on an angle and put it in so the actual board's curved as well, because this last one comes, I think that's pretty much in the center of that. So in order to get that curve, it's going to be a bit of a, well, it's going to be a bit of an experiment, shall we say. So I just thought I'd get this bit on film before I cut it and see what it looks like when we've done it. So I'll get the saw out and get the cutting. Right, the moment of truth. How's that look?
Good. Why haven't you done those bits?
Because I can't get in with this, so I'm going to have to get my little hacksaw out and finish them bits off.
Oh, can't you do it from this side? The post's in the way on that side.
Suppose I could look over. Will I cut the post?
I'll tell you.
When half a post?
Yeah, when it's too late.
Good idea.
It's a bit vicious.
Not as clinical with my left hand.
Still good though.
That one's a bit bodged there, like.
Which one? This one?
No, this one. Well, I'll sand it out, it'll be alright.
I think it looks brilliant.
It'll look alright from back there, won't it?
It looks good. Right.
Right.
One down.
One down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 to go. There we go. I was after a bit of master carpentry. Looks alright, doesn't it? It all worked out alright. I thought it would look stupid in the corners where it goes on the corners, but you can't even tell now it's cut. So while I was on, I thought I'd just renew the gate I did the same, matched the same angle up as that, as the same pattern. So I'll just keep the pattern, keep the bit of wood, and I'll do exactly the same on the other fence over there. So that's one ticked off the list. Right, well unfortunately we ran out of time yesterday, so I couldn't get both fences finished. So I got all these panels on, but I didn't have time to cut them before we had to knock off and go out. So I've been out this morning, I've marked up where I'm going to cut all the arches in. So all I've got to do now is get the saw out, get it all cut, and then there's these two jobs knocked off the project list, which weren't on the project list. So we'll get on with that. Well, that's that job finished. I wanted it done in 3 days. It's only took us 2.5. We got rained off one day. The only thing I didn't get done was took the old trees down. That's not a priority at the moment. I just wanted this all done to get it finished, pretty fired up and making it look nice. And I'm absolutely chuffed with the way it's turned out. It was one of them jobs where we were umming and ahhing whether to do it or not. And Tracy's approach of just do it and see what it looks like was, I was like, all right, okay. So that's what I did. It's turned out absolutely fantastic. So she was right for once, and I'm chuffed to bits with it. So yeah, on with the next job, I suppose. What else can I do? Right, the next job on the list we've got to get sorted is the pigs will be out in about a week or so. So this fence behind me is where the pigs are going, over here. This fence has been here a lot of years. It's had a few repairs over the time, and it's getting a bit weak on the bottom. So all I'm going to do is where these trees have fell down, I'm just going to cut all the branches off, lay the trunks of the trees just down the bottom of the stock fencing and staple all the stock fencing to the trees just to give it that extra support so they can't lift it up. And then next year, I think we were talking the other day, the pigs are going to go in this area here, so we'll probably leave the fence stapled to the posts for next year as well, and then the pigs can go in this area, because we always talk when we're down here having a fire saying how much of a big space this is, and it's been wasted for all the time we've been here. So we've talked about putting chickens in here, talking about putting like a summer house in here or something like that. So I think next year we're going to put pigs in here. It's already fenced off like in 2 areas, so we only need to put like a stock fencing across the top there, and then decide however far we want to go down and just put another stock fence in there. And that's a well-ready, well-established pig pen, because all it does in the summer is just gets full of nettles, so that hopefully the pigs will dig all them out, eat all the roots, and then once they've gone out of here, they might have them on here for a couple of years, and once they've gone out here we'll be able to decide what we want to do with it. Make a start getting all the branches off. I'll put them on the fire, and then I'll put all, like I say, I'll put all the trunks, well, as far as I can go, I'll see how many we've got down the side of the pen, staple them all in.
Well, it's Sunday afternoon and Stephen and I are unfortunately back to the paid job from tomorrow, so we wanted to bring you bang up to speed with what we've been getting up to, with the end of the video being something super exciting before we close out for the day and close out for this video and get back to a somewhat more normal video routine. You get stuck in your hands, that stuff, it's horrible.
I just have to stay like that until they dig it up a bit more.
Is that loose, that bit?
What bit?
That bit?
No, can't get out.
Ah, that's okay.
Don't know where it goes. Right, well, we're due a week of lovely weather apparently, so no better time than to get the pigs out. They're about 10 weeks old now, so there's no better time than to get them out in this weather. So I think you see me earlier on in the video, I've got all the perimeter fence up there all stapled in, so no chance of escaping there. The only thing I am doing today, well, the next hour, is just halving the pen off, because that side's not grew back as much as this side. So we'll get them in this side first, give that side a couple of months extra growth on it. And so I'm just going to put a temporary, everything's temporary, a temporary pallet fence up, and then we'll get them down here where they're easy to handle and we don't have to lump them about too much.
So in case you knew or you missed it, our pigs were on this section of the field last year as well, and actually the back end here the previous year. Now that might sound as though that's too long to have the pigs on it, but they're only on it for 6 months. They're not on it all year round or anything like that, and they were actually only on this part of the this part of the paddock for the back end of their time here last year. So this has not been used anywhere near as much as this bit. It's interesting to see, however, that this bit has grown back the best, and they've got rid of all of the docks and things that were in there. I mean, there's the odd few down here, but compared to the field, if I just do a quick turn around, compared to the field, this is exactly what it was like before the pigs went on it. So they have done a really good job of getting rid of the dock roots, or they've just not grown back yet. But looking at the rest of the field, they have in there, so I'm thinking that they would have done. So that's a big bonus from us. So as Stephen says, they're going to go in here. They will spend the rest of their time with us out now. They'll be living out. They're a lot smaller than when we've had the pigs out previously. If you've seen any of our pig videos, you'll see that Stephen has been carrying them down when they're quite a bit bigger. And what we said this year is, rather than put yourself through that and put them through that, and rather than trying to get them on a trailer or anything, we're bringing them down just while they're small enough to handle, and we can carry them just like a dog basically, and then we can just get them straight in here. But that does mean that because they're a smaller size, that we have to be super careful that they can't escape through any of the smaller holes, because obviously it's only been bigger pigs that have been in here. So fingers crossed we'll get it all pig proof and then we'll get them brought down.
Right, it's the nice big bedding in, keep them all toasty on a night. We'll get the water down and the food down, and then we'll get the piglets. Just have a Right, well, they've got the food, they've got the water, they've got the bed. The only thing for them now is to get the pigs. Hopefully that'll be drama free, but we shall see. Right, the plan is this year, Grace is going to give me a hand, seems though they're not too big, so she's going to flex her muscles. Tracy's on the gates, so that's the plan. Let's see how it goes. Are you ready, fellas? Are you ready for your new home?
Let me just pick it up and check.
You alright?
Ooh, he's fattening.
Ah, good as gold, just like little babies.
Don't speak too soon, please.
Oh.
Like that.
Yeah, right, let's up the pace. Yeah, freedom. Yeah. Hello, Dexter. You step over that. Come on. Sit. There you go.
Oh, Dad, your pallet, stop! I can't.
Are you alright?
I can't get up.
That wasn't very good there. Sorry.
No, it's been on me.
Chris is covered in poo, as is Stephen.
Oh, my hair.
Never mind your hair. We didn't stress test the pallet for the weight of Stephen and Grace and the two pigs when they leant on it, so that's why Stephen's pig took an untimely faster descent than we were planning on. It's absolutely fine. I'm not remotely interested in the food, so I've got all these goodies to forage for. See if I find the water. I think they've managed that water okay, the height of them.
Full, yeah.
Just make sure it keeps topped up, eh?
He was so, oh, it's back to the. He was such a good lad. Hey.
This one. Oh, careful, it's
Is it not my blood?
No, it's
no,
got
it's
a chunk
blood.
out of him. You know what that's from?
It can't be off the pallet because he didn't touch the pallet.
No. Looks fine.
It will be. It's only a tiny scratch, it's not actually deep, it's just a little scratch. It's not bleeding.
What is it?
Just put on his back.
Oh, look, he's already under rooting.
Dad.
Well, that didn't go totally to plan, but it's quick fixed. We're covered in pig ass, but we'll watch them for the next few hours, and then hopefully they'll still be here in the morning.
So this is a before. Let's see what the after looks like.
I've just noticed this one here has got a couple of little red marks on him, but it must have been when they've been fighting. They have got some pretty sharp teeth, so they'll have been playing around in the pen up in the barn there, and this one looks like it's just come off a little bit worse, but he's all right.
Strike.
What are they called?
Gizmo and Strike.
Gizmo and Stripe. Someone asked us the other day and I didn't know.
Gizmo's the one with a spot on his shoulder.
Here, I want to tickle your tummy. You're too interested in the ground now, aren't you?
That's
one
it.
isn't. That one's going down. Well, hopefully they'll touch that barbed wire there, look, and they won't. They'll stop rooting under.
Can't believe you forget every year how quickly the noses get under the grass, don't you? Like, look at that there.
Especially in these molehills, these loose molehills.
It's amazing.
And you're only small. Wait till you're 3 stone. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to see the...
Oh, he's going. There, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. You're still a lazy pig, aren't you? You're still a lazy pig.
Incoming.
Come here. Come here.
What about you? What about you? Yeah? What about
Yorkshire
you?
puddings.
Hello, pig. Oh, that looks lovely and cozy in there. Bring you some more. Bring you some more. Straw down. Well, it's late in the evening. Just doing our last check on the pigs, and they were fast asleep in the house. We didn't need to bother, but they're still here. They seem happy. They've had a little nice route around, so hopefully this will be a happy 6 or 7 months outside with a bit of a freedom for them.
Say good night, family.
So,
Good night, family.
so we'll just leave them do what they do, and we'll see you in the next video.
Good night, family.
Night, guys.
Night, y'all.
Night, John boy.
Bye, girls.